ربنا الله ربنا الله ربنا الله ربنا الله ربنا الله ربنا الله ليس غير الله ربا للعباد.
أمة الصحراء يا شعب الخلود من سواكم حل أولا للورى أي داع قبلكم في ذا الوجود.
These four tawheeds. Tawheed is of four categories. Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, Tawheed uluhiyyah, Tawheed asma wa sifat, and Tawheed hakimiyyah. Tawheed al-Rububiyyah means Allah Ta'ala is the one and only Lord. It is quite obvious to everyone in the room that Yusuf is talking about Tawheed asma wa sifat in this ayah, because he's telling the people, you are not allowed to worship Allah with names and attributes which He, Allah Ta'ala, did not use to describe Himself. Tawheed Hakimiyyah means Allah Ta'ala is the only lawgiver, the only legislator. Allah has commanded that you worship none but Him. You should single out Allah for your ibadah. It's quite obvious that this branch of Tawheed is called Tawheed Ibadah.
ويكأن لم تشرقوا في الكائنات بهدى الإيمان والنهج الرشيد ونسيتم في ظلام الحادثات قمة الصحراء في العيش الرغيد.
Yoga was once practiced mainly by an occultist clique in America and Europe. Now, over 19 million Americans and millions more in Europe are actively involved in some kind of Eastern meditation. Altogether, 60 million Americans have incorporated Eastern philosophies into their worldview.
Yoga is the very heart of Hinduism.
Mm-hmm.
Yoga is in many ways the heart of Hinduism. There is no Hinduism without yoga, and there is no yoga without Hinduism.
You can't take Hinduism out of yoga.
Yoga goes all the way back to the Hindu god Shiva, who is called Yogeshwara, meaning Lord of Yoga. You find yoga being taught in several of the major Hindu scriptures. Krishna, one of the many Hindu gods, was an advocate of yoga. Yoga is also mentioned in the Gita as the main means to attaining salvation. The word means basically to yoke, union. The goal of the Hindu is to be yoked with Brahman.
What is yoga? Yoga is a Sanskrit word that means to yoke with Brahman. What it means is Atman, the individual soul. That's the goal you're trying to reach. A state of consciousness where, as the Sanskrit says, that thou art. You are God. You are Brahman. So you reach a state where you realize that Atman, the individual soul, and Brahman, the universal soul, are one and the same.
I mean, the whole idea of waking up your consciousness through arousing the serpent power within you. The idea is that the serpent lays coiled at the base of your spine, and through maneuvers, movements, asanas, you waken the psychic energy to come up through the wheels, the psychic energy, if you will, up to the third eye.
brand of yoga called dynamic meditation is a New Age combination of Hinduism and psychotherapies. This exercise, involving rigorous breathing and hyperventilation, is designed to arouse the serpent force called Kundalini, which the gurus believe lies coiled at the base of the spine.
And in mantra yoga, a word or a phrase or the name of a demon god is repeated over and over and over again to bring the individual to a vibration level that will attract that which is being chanted for, to bring about the desired effect. It's exactly what the white witches and magicians, so-called, use in the casting of their spells.
In the secret doctrine she wrote, and now it stands proven that Satan, or the red fiery dragon, the lord of phosphorus, and Lucifer, or light bearer, is in us.
Well, he's basically not only the father of modern Satanism and the most highly regarded Satanist of the last century, he is also the father of the modern New Age movement, altered states of consciousness, trying to make altered states of consciousness scientific through whether it be hallucinogens and seeing reality different, whether it was drugs, whether it was astrology or the practice of ritual magic, whether it was sex magic, whether it was his ideas of world unity through magic and so forth. All these are very popular through the 1960s and after that in ushering in what today is called the New Age movement.
According to the New Agers, Theosophists, as well as many elitists and Freemasons, there exists a group of highly evolved men and women called the Masters of Wisdom. These powerful groups claim that Buddha, Krishna, Muhammad, and Jesus were all masters of wisdom, and that a being named Maitreya is the leader of these beings, who in turn is subject to the true leader, Sanat Kumara. New Age Theosophist Dane Rudhar concedes that the leader of the Masters, Sanat Kumara, is in fact Satan, according to the esotericists. Quote, Satan is an anagram for Sanat Kumara, who in the esoteric philosophy of India is the Promethean being who gave mankind the fire of self-conscious and independent individual selfhood, unquote. Blavatsky taught her students that it is actually Satan who is God, the Messiah, and that Jehovah is the evil one. She stated, quote, It is but natural, even from the dead letter standpoint, to view Satan, the serpent of Genesis, as the real creator and benefactor, the father of spiritual mankind. N. Sri Ram, who often gave lectures at the United Nations, a major theosophist and writer for Lucifer magazine, clarifies, quote, The adversary, or Satan, is no other than Lucifer, the light-bearer, the bright morning star. He is the initiator, awakening the divine faculties of intellect on man.
Modern-day spiritualists, people like Shirley MacLaine and J.Z. Knight in the U.S., who have a big following, basically they talk about the higher self, and learning from the higher self, and basically the message that the higher self is giving is that you are God. Shirk in Al-Asma wa Sifat, or shirk in Allah's names and attributes.
So indeed the Luciferian doctrine is fused into the New Age movement due to theosophy. Along with this doctrine is the belief that because of Satan, man is now thinking he will evolve, conquer the world, conquer nature, and become a god. The Freemason W.L. Wilmhurst bolstered the fact that Freemasonry is aimed at creating God men. The purpose of initiation is attaining godhood, he states, quote, The height of the lodge, even as high as the heavens, implies the range of consciousness possible to us. When we have developed our potentialities to the full is infinite. Man who has sprung from the earth and developed through the lower kingdoms of nature to his present rational state has yet to complete his evolution by becoming a godlike being and unifying his consciousness with the omniscient, to promote which is and always has been the sole aim and purpose of all initiation.
Over 3 successive days, beginning on April 8th, the book was channeled through Crowley while in a trance. This snake spirit begins the revelation by telling man that he is a god, by telling man that he is a god, by telling man that he is a god.
Say I and God are one. No, wait, better than that. I got the best one. This is the best one. Just say, I am God.
David, I can't say that. David, I can't say that.
See how little you think of yourself? You can't even say the words.
I am God. I am God.
A little louder, please, with maybe a little more conviction.
I am God. I am. Look, if I'm God, what does that make you?
Well, we always see in others what we see in ourselves. I am God. I am God.
I am God.
I am God.
I am God. I am God.
I am God.
I am God. I am God. I am God.
I am God. I am God.
Not you. I'm.
God only knows what you know.
When really the Spirit of God is what it really is. It's really God's presence inside of us. It's God.
We are the gods now.
And God lives inside of us. His Spirit lives inside of us. We have power because God literally is inside of us.
Every one of you is a living God wearing this human garment.
And what that means is you are all infinite creators.
Except your denial that you are God.
I wondered if back when you were involved in spirit worship, if they talked about New Age at all.
Oh yes, there was a big thing that was coming up. One of the major deceptions of the last days. Major deceptions of the last days. Major deceptions of the last days.